Hello everyone. This is Arpan, your host for today, and welcome to another live session with Flutter Vadodara. So today, today I welcome Harsh for today's session. Harsh, you're ready?
Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Your stage is yours. Let's begin.
Sure. I'll just share my
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me know when it's on. Okay.
I think it's on.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Oops. Yeah.
should I
Good
start?
luck. Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks. Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Harsh, as Arpan introduced me, and I'll be showing you guys how to get started with game development in Flutter. And to be more precise, actually, 2D game development. And so let's start. Yeah, about myself, I'm a Flutter developer. I'm a gamer. I like to play a lot of games, and I'm a Muslim, uh, which is like I'm in the Mozilla community. Okay, enough talk now. So first of all, we'll cover basic concepts of game development, and I don't even know why this. I mean, I wanted to add something that's made in Flutter, but I don't even know. I mean, I couldn't find anything else, and I was too lazy to search properly. But yeah, like let's begin. So first of all, what is a game loop? So game loop is a concept that's referred to a lot when it comes to game development, and it is basically like it decides the overall flow of the game, and it is essentially like the entry point of the game that you make it. And it's called a loop because um, it does all the actions constantly, as in the screen will constantly be rendered and constantly be updated, and there are also inputs. So if any input is provided, then the screen will be updated. So it all happens inside the game. And the next is sprite. So sprite is basically a 2D graphic image, and it's usually used in like 2D games. And what this below here is actually a sprite that I made in like maybe like less than 30 seconds. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't come up with something better. So basically, an image, you can call it as a sprite, a 2D image. And a sprite sheet, on the other hand, is one 2D image, and it consists of multiple sprites in it. So actually, let me show you what it means to. So what you see here is like multiple images, and it is like an inside multiple sprites, and inside, and this is like one entire image, and this basically like forms an animation. And I'll actually show you the animation over here. So every frame, this is like every frame, this is like first frame, second, third, fourth, so there are like 5 frames. And I'll just play. So this is what it kind of looks like. So it's a row of images or sprites, and it kind of looks like it's forming an animation. So let's move it back. Okay, so yeah, so it looks like an animation, just like a bunch of images. So we'll be starting with Flame. I mean, we'll be using Flame for this session, and I believe like Flame is like probably the best way to develop a game on Flutter. So Flame, what exactly is Flame? So Flame is like a modular Flutter game engine, and it provides a lot of functionalities that help us, create games faster and more simpler. Like you could say adding animation, or like adding these sprites as I showed you, and stuff like that. So before we start, I'll be talking about some basic concepts of Flame. And the first one is structure. So structure is basically like structuring your assets. So Flame has this convention that you should use to, put your assets, and basically in your on your project directory, you usually add an assets folder, and inside that we add all the images or something like that. But with Flame, we use the asset folder, and inside that we have an images folder which contains all the images that we want to use in Flame, and the audio folder where we want to use the audio. And um, we must follow this convention while using this. Next is the base game class. So the base game class is like one of the classes Flame provides that can be used as an entry point. So earlier I told you about the game loop. So you can kind of consider that this base game class is where our game loop will reside. So you can say that this acts as a game loop, and it provides render and update methods that you can use to render the screen and update the screen. And it also, well, we can also use inputs in this base game class. And it provides a component based system. So what exactly is a component based system? So component based system is like these are components are classes that can be represented as objects. So you could say that my background is a component, my image is a component, and maybe my animation is a component. So these are all components. These can act as components or act as objects, and we can add these objects to the base game class by um, you know by this component class basically. So there are different types of components. They're like there's animation component, there's normal component class, there's SVG component. There's a lot of components that you can use. So yeah, enough talk. Let's start. Let's start developing now. And first of all, I'll explain what the main function is about. So we use ensure initialize function from Flutter widget expanding to make sure that our flame.util.initial dimensions is called. So what that means is that when it comes to Flutter, there's a possibility that when the app starts, the size of the screen might be like 0 by 0. And this is a behavior that Flutter gives, that Flutter framework has. And so in order to avoid that, we want to wait for the information of the dimensions to be updated. And we pass that in our base game class, and we pass that size in our base game class. And what base game also does is that it provides us and it gives us a widget, and you can use it as a normal widget even if you want to. So even if you can even use it as like inside a scaffold or inside, and basically it gives a widget, so you can use it anywhere. So yeah, let's start, I guess. Okay, cool. So first of all, I've added the um, I've added the Flame package in the dependency, and I've also added one sprite sheet, which is this. This is what I earlier showed you, and we'll be using this sprite sheet. And yeah, so I've created a class called new game, and it extends the base game class. And this is the constructor that we're using. And to add a component, we just have to add the add method apparently. And this is where our component will go. So we'll actually make a component class right now. So let's start. So I want a background right now. So how about I create a background and it will extend the component class, and we'll use the wait a second. Oops, I did an oopsie. Background extends component with resize. So what resizable does is that it's a mixin, and you can use this mixin to get the size of the screen that you use. I mean, the size of the screen of the device. So we'll be using this, and every component has methods called render and update, which you need to override. It's cool. By the way, there's what can I say? This is double T, and the T is basically like the delta time that it will provide. Actually, let's check it out for better description. So yeah, so the update method is basically it provides you the time T in seconds, and since the you know the screen refresh rate can vary, and it can change according to hardware capacity, so we need to make sure that our screen updates properly across all devices. So that's why we have this time, so that we can use time instead. So let's actually make a background. So I'll just create a rect object. I hope you are all familiar with the canvas property. uh, so yeah, let's actually create a rect object. We'll call it bgrect, and yeah, so let's actually render this. So render is when we want to show it, and update is when we want our screen to update. So we won't be using update in our background because we don't want to update our background. So yeah, so start. So my bgrect is from left top. So we want it to be the entire size of the screen. So it will be like 0, and the width is size dot width, which we get from resizable, and size dot height. Okay. Now we want to draw this rectangle in a canvas, so we'll draw the bgrect, and we'll actually create a paint object. So let's just do that, and I want the color to be something. Oh, let's just use pink accent, I guess. So yeah, I hope this works. This should work. Oh, okay. We need to add this component. So we need to add this background component that we just made. I think it should work. Nice, cool. So we added the background to the game. So now what's next? Yeah, we added a base game class. We added a background. So yeah, resizable is basically a mix-in, and it holds the reference to the current screen size, and we run rect. Okay, next we'll add a box, and So let's actually just do that. Let's make another component called box with resizable. I know for some reason my auto suggestion is just too slow. Okay. Oh, I'll just close this. And again, I don't know why this happens by the way, for some reason. Okay, so let's again create a rect object. So rect box, and we'll create another print object. And I want it to be yellow. Let's define the coordinates for this. So from LWTH. Now we want it in the middle of the screen. So first of all, from our left, it will be, since the canvas is called 00 coordinates are at the top left. So we'll be using, we want it in the middle of the screen. So in the middle of the width and at the end, right here. So we'll do that. So for that, from left, we wanted size dot width, and from the top, oh, size dot width by 2, and from the top we want size dot height by 2. And what will be the original width and height of the box? So let's do 30. So, and we'll just draw this, and print object already made. So first of all, this probably won't render. I mean, you probably won't be able to see this on screen right now because it's right at here, and we want, since the width and height is 30, width is 30, so we won't be able to. So it's basically getting out of the screen right now. So I'll shift it to the left a bit. Oh, I forgot to add. So we'll add the component again. Let's refresh. What? Okay. So yeah, by the way, we don't want to draw this. Yep. So there we have it on the left, I mean on the right, I'm sorry. And now we want this box to animate. We want it to animate. We want it to, let's say we want it to grow from the right to the left. So for that, let's just create a variable called position x, and right now our position x will be 30, and we want so I'll replace this with position x, and we want this position to change with the delta time, with respect to delta time. So what I can do is, in my update method, I can just change the value of position. So let's say that if I add 100, so it moves like 100, like it moved 100 pixels to the left. So it's basically size dot width minus 100 pixels. So but this clearly is not animating, right? So what I can do is that I can increment this position by, let's say, 2 pixels. So every every like seconds or every microseconds, the you know the position will change. It will update on its own. So that's how like that's kind of like power of you know the update method, that we don't have to use a transform or whatever like from Flutter. And as you can see, like our box, after some point of time, our box literally moves out of the screen, so we actually wanted it back. So we'll actually do something like this, that if position x is greater than equal to size dot width, or wait, is it if it's less than 0, then yeah, less than 0, less than equal to 0, then we want our position x to be 30. Pardon my clean coding skills, I mean I clearly have none. Oh yes, okay, I don't think this will work. Yeah, I don't think it will. I was incorrect. It is size dot width by 2, I mean width, because we're subtracting. We want this to be 0 when the box will move out of the screen. This will become 0. So in order for this to become to 0, um they'll have to this has to be size dot width. So this should definitely, yep, as you can see it's working. That's good. So now we're done. I mean this, we're animating the box. Now I want to add my sprite to this video. So I'll create another class and I'll just call it, what should I call it? My which I will call it, let's say green ball or something. I don't know. And this time we'll actually use the animation component. And since we have a sprite sheet, what animation component will do is that it will it will handle the sprite sheet for us, and it will animate um, on its own. We just have to use the right constructor, which is the sequence constructor. And I'll just remove this video. And the width here is what you want. The I mean, what the width and the height is basically the size of the component that you want. I mean, size of the sprite that you want. So I want it 50 pixels by 50 pixels, and the image path is, let's see, the image path is green underscore ball dot png. We don't have to add the entire path like assets slash images slash the image name. Flame will do that for us. So, and the amount is the amount of frames our sprite sheet has. So if you can see here, I mean you can even see here that this is clearly like 5 different sprites. So basically it's 5 frames, and yeah, it's even here you can see that these are 5 frames. So I have 5 frames, and we also need to mention the texture width and the texture height of like each sprite. So they're basically asking like what's the width and height of this, like this entire image, so sprite. So it's actually if you can see here, I don't know if you can see, maybe it's too small, but my sprite is my each frame is 46 by 46 pixels. So that's what I'll use. So my texture width is 46 and my texture height is 46, right? And and I'll also use the resizable mixin here. And what resizable mixin also does is that it gives you the resize method. So this basically is called on the first resizing, and we can also every time in case the size of the screen changes, this will get called, so we won't be having any issues. And also another thing, um, I want it at the center. I want this at the center, so I use something called this anchor. So anchor is basically a reference point, and I want my reference point to be at the center. And I can use, and it will give you like these x and y coordinates that you can use to change the position. So I want it to, oops, and I want its y coordinate to be size dot height. So this should, oh, I need to add it now. So what is it called? Beam. So this should wait. So this should add a sprite. So yeah, as you can see, it's already animating. We didn't have to, you know, add any extra or add any long codes. This constructor does that for us. So this looks all right. And now I also want, now I want to add something like an input. So I want our main green ball, or let's say our main character, to move according to our input. So let's move back. We animated the box. That's cool. Yep. We animated the sprite as well. That's cool. Yep. So now we'll be using user inputs, and Flame provides a bunch of mixins that you can use, and these can be used to like handle touch input events. So we'll be using the tab detector mixin, and tab detector mixin provides like basically like four methods, and we'll be using the tab down method. So whenever the user taps on the screen, we want to move our green ball. So first of all, I'll add an update method. I'll override the update method. That's for some reason. Okay, I'll just clear this. Okay, so what I want to do is that first of all, um, let's check if we can move it without the user input. So I can do something like this dot x, or we want to move it like up and down, so we'll only change the y coordinate for this. So let's just actually move it 2 pixels every second or every microsecond. So yeah, I added 2 pixels. I'm adding 2 pixels every time to my this like the y coordinate, so it's moving down. But and if I add -2, it will move up. So we know that this, if we change, I'm sorry, if we change the y coordinate, we can move it up and down. So um, let's add a method right now that's called up and down. We call it up down, and what this will do is that so let's see, what I want right now is that um, every alternative tab would move my, you know, my character up or down. So let's actually keep something. I mean, this is probably terrible um, approach to do this, but I don't know. So let's actually um, make a variable called tab detector, and what tab, sorry, tab counter, not detector, sorry. So what my tab counter will do is that every time I tap the screen, my tab counter will increase, and if my tab counter, um, like if it's an even number, oops, if it's an even number, um, if it's an even number, then I want my y position to move upwards. So every second tap will move my position upwards, and um, every like even or tap will move my position downwards. So this is what I will do. This dot y. Um, actually, um, first of all, let's just bring back our character, which seems literally gone from the screen. And oops, I don't want this to go. So I actually decided like pre-decided constant for this talk, so I'll be using that. So let's say I think it was 300 here, and I want um, this I want my y to be something like, sorry, this is already pre-decided. Like I thought that this would basically look all right. Right now it's literally, I don't even know what's happening. So maybe let's just do that. It's behaving very very weirdly. Oh, because we're not adding. Yep, makes sense. So now what I want is that in order to, right now my constant is 300, so it will move my pixel downwards, I mean like from below downwards, um, because it's positive. So if I make my constant negative 300, it will like start moving upwards. It should start moving upwards. So that's what we'll do. Our constant, we're basically just changing our constant, and we return, return, let's just return, and if it is an odd, if it's odd, we'll just like the constant is now 300. So we've defined a method right now, and we want to call this method, and we want to call this method, I just incremented the tap counter, so every time you tap, the number of taps will increase, and we want to use this method, and we want to use our tab detector as well. So in our base game class, which is I think right here. Where is our skin class? There it is. And we'll use the tab detector mixin, and we'll use the tap down method on tap down, and let's actually make an object for our green wall. And we'll use this object here. And we'll call this method. That's what I'm doing. And we'll just call this method. I think hopefully this should work. Let's see. This is not working clearly. Yep, it is working. So, and I think I made a mistake. Yep, I think I made a mistake here. I don't think I want to return. Do I want to return? Actually, let's just, oh yeah, my tab counter is, well, what can I say? We don't, this is getting very awkward right now, my talk. But I don't actually, you know what? I'm just too lazy. Our tab counter wasn't getting called, our incremental tab counter, so I'll just use my tab counter over here, which, by the way, is terrible coding practice. Don't do that. I'm just doing it for the sake of this session. So yeah, now my main character is like jump them up and down. So now this works, I guess. You know, I mean this apparently, yep, I guess this works now. So I also want to, you know, make some finishing touches to this. So what I want is that I want my character to come back um, when it's either like, you know, when it goes out of the screen, I want my character to come back. So that's what we'll do right now. So if, I don't know why I'm using this for, by the way. If it's greater than size dot height, or if it's less than 0. So if it's less than 0, I just want this y to be, what was it again, size dot height value. Yeah. So every time my character goes out of the screen, I'm bringing it back in, just like we did with the box. I also want, I mean, this is, I want to put some finishing touches to this. So let's actually add another method called, let's actually use something like a boolean type where we can actually freeze our character, right? So stay, and we'll call it true right now. So if stay, if it's true, then we literally just want to return, and we don't want to do anything at all. So yep, right now it's completely paused. I mean, not paused, but it's not doing anything. So on tap, so whenever our up down is called, we'll just make the spots. Yep, so this works. That's cool. That's actually cool. That's very cool. And I wanted to stay even um when it goes out of the screen as well. So I'll just, you know, oops, sorry for it. I'll just add it here as well. So I think this should work. Yep, it does. So I guess we're I don't know. I didn't expect this to get over really quickly, and I guess this. I guess the. I guess I just wanted to show you this. I mean, the next is like when you can, use different. I mean, we start our animation instantly, but we can even use something like loop, which is basically right now our entire animation is in a loop, if you see. And if we don't want this to happen, we can turn off the loop. I mean, we have this thing called loop, so I can use this loop to be false, and it will only animate one side of the it's not working for some reason. I hope it does work. Yeah, I mean, then it just won't animate at all. See, it's not animating. So yeah, what else can I am actually out of things to show you right now? What else can I show? I guess I can just talk about um a few things. First of all, base game. You don't have to use base game. There are other classes. Um, first of which is just game, and next is I think box story game or something like that. So basically, right now we're actually yes, why is it not animating? Okay, yeah, it is. So right now we are, I mean, this doesn't look like a proper game. It's just a bunch of animations and whatnot. But let's say that we want to add, whenever our character collides, whenever a character collides with this box, we want the game to end basically. So for that, you you can use something. I mean, um, flame, not exactly flame, but there's this you could say a library called box 2D. So actually let me see if I can, oops. So let's actually go to the documentation. And box 2D is it's basically like a physics engine that you can use for flame. So things like collision or gravity, or I guess what else is there. Even I haven't actually looked into box theory properly. I'm new to flame. Okay, I mean, I'm very new to flame. It's just been like maybe 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks since I've actually started with flame. I just wanted to share this knowledge with you folks. um, you can use box story to add physics engine to your game, which makes the physics like very easier. What's next? Okay, yeah, we've actually done this. Yeah, we actually did this. That's cool. Congratulations to myself. So I want to take some time and talk about resources, and I believe that resources will be much, you know I think this will be more helpful than my talk itself, because um the resources that I've used are like, they provide proper, they're very like in depth. And first of all, is Luon and Renan stock, which um which was the first, you know first thing that I did when I wanted to learn Flame. Was like, I searched it on YouTube, and the talk at Flutter Europe came in. And it was a great talk, by the way. You can also refer to it. And the next is the official Flame documentation, which is this I showed you, right? I mean, you can even use the documentations. I think that this is I mean, this is a nice documentation. There's things like, even you can use like gamepad. And gamepad is basically, um you know if you want to use an external gamepad to your with your phone, if you want to use a gamepad, it can even do that. It can even um have you know rive the rive animations. And you can easily use rive animations as well in here. And yeah, what's next? The Fireslam Discord. Yeah, so Fireslam Discord is Fireslam basically um, is responsible for handling the Flame package. So, and Fireslime also has this have they also have like their own community. And um, they have their own Discord. And you can check out this Discord link. I mean, I'm sure Arpan, or maybe I'll link the slides, so that you can refer to it, and you can join the Discord. And Discord is where this is where you can ask as many questions as you'd like. There are much better Flame developers than myself over there. And yeah, I guess then there's this blog. There's like, I think that this is probably the best blog that you can find on game development. And what's next? Yeah, okay. So first of all, what if? I mean, I know how to you know create this you know pixel art, or create I wouldn't say I know how to create music, but I've learned how to create like basic music stuff. So I can mix my own music. I can create my own samples if I want to. And because I was really interested in them. And but what if, like, what if it's not for you? What if you don't want to waste your time in actually making something like this? Or what if um you're not really into this kind of stuff, so making this kind of stuff? So there's this thing called open game art. And what open game art will do, it will provide it these are like these are creative common game arts that you can use in your games if you want to. So let's say that there's like 2D art. So you can have like these amazing, by the way, these are like amazing, this is like an amazing resource. And this is where you can like maybe download like background images or sprites, or or like anything that you want in images. And even there's even music that you can use. So this is like, because you can use like background music or whatever. This is like this whole bunch of options that you can choose from. And you can even sort them by licenses. So these have licenses. And what yeah, so you can use, this is like a great platform where you can search for stuff basically. Next is freesound.org. Freesound is actually another great platform, which I don't know how I found this, but free sound is basically where you can get you know samples. So what this is, more lot of this is music, or I mean lot of this is basically background music or some sound effects. But free sound will provide you, I mean will give you like um samples, as in recorded samples. So sample is basically in music, when we talk about samples, we talk about something that um that can be used in our music. So or in our like yeah, so in our music. So maybe it could be sample of something raining. So if you could just search over here raining, and you'll find a bunch of samples, and these are like recorded samples that these great users have used, I mean recorded. So you can even use these samples and in your project, I mean make sure that you have like the proper licensing details, and you know what the licensing is. And yeah, next is Piscal. So Piscal is basically I am right now using something called a Sprite, which I bought on the Steam market. And but if you don't want to use something that's paid, you can use Piscal. So Piscal is, if you want to create um, these animations and these sprites by yourself, you can use Piscal. And Piscal is basically like an open source. It is open source tool to draw pixels and create animations, and it's very simple. I mean, I was using it before I got a sprite, and it's great. If you are interested in making pixel art, then please, uh, this Piscal is a great platform. And what's next? Yep, next is the awesome Flame repository. And I mean, the name speaks for itself. It's basically you can find all the articles, tutorials, and other projects. And yeah, I mean, this is basically like one shop stop or one stop shop. I don't know. I don't know. It's basically that, and you can use. I mean, you can take a look at this and find cool games that are made using Flame. And yeah, I guess what else? I guess I'm done for now. You can find me on GitHub and Twitter and Discord. I'll probably reply faster on Discord than Telegram. So if you really want to like message me, if you really want to contact me, I'll suggest Discord. But you can also text me on Telegram. So yeah, I guess it's over. There's no slide left. Arpan, can you come on stage with me, please?
Yeah, hi Harsh. So great session,
Yep,
and
thanks.
and we have a bit of questions as well. Yeah,
Okay.
uh, just one or two. So I request that if someone is having questions, please shoot in the live chat. In the meantime, we'll show the other. So here's the first question on the screen from Nimit.
From Nimit.
Yeah,
Well, Flame, first of all, is not for 3D game development. It is for 2D game development. And Unity is like a framework that you can use, and it has, I think I don't know much about Unity, but Unity, I'm very new to game development myself, and I started with Flutter. So Unity, you can say Unity is like um, an engine, but it's not for, I mean, I dare not say that it's not for Flutter. Maybe it is, I don't know. I've never actually searched, so I
yeah,
can't say that it's not. But um, Flame is kind of, you could say kind of different. I mean, Unity is very a big platform, and it has its own engine, and it has its own 3D development, like where you can make 3D games, but at the same you can, it's only for like 2D games.
Okay. So next question we have from Fenil.
Careers in game development. Okay, so uh, honestly speaking, even I don't know. I'd like to know myself, but I'll just share whatever I researched when,
Yeah.
whatever I've researched up until now about game development and careers about it. So Fennel, I know that you're from India. So um, I don't think there's a lot of scope in India about game development for game development, and um, um,
Maybe it's
there's
for
like a
future.
bunch of universities that provide a game development course
Yeah,
or a
course.
game development degree, but um, I've searched a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've searched a bunch of times, and everybody suggests that it's not, viable to. It's not worth it because there are not enough companies in India that provide that are, big into the gaming market. I think there's one. I think I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but there is one. But
Oh,
apart
yeah.
from that, there's no such companies that can,
But
not in India
Harsh,
at least.
what do you feel like looking at the current scenario that gaming is currently on a high pace? Not
Yeah,
the game development, but gaming is, I we can say, on a fast pace in India. So, do you see a
yeah.
scope in game development for future?
There's actually insane amount of scope if you ask me, and you could say that if I mean as a career, I mean as getting a job somewhere in India, maybe it's not suitable, but if you want to make your own game, you're free to. I mean, there are like
I think,
incredible games that are just made by like one developer, and it's massive games like Stardew Valley, and it's one of
yeah.
my favorite games, and it's massive, and you can make like insane amount of money. And actually, I mean, I don't want to go off topic, but I will.
But
There's actually a
we
lot
have a
of
question here that regarding your that
can
can India make game like PUBG?
I mean, of course it can. I mean, they just people just need to have like you just need a good team of developers. I'm sure there are like great game developers in India.
Yeah,
The thing is that they don't probably get enough recognition because um, India right now doesn't have any proper like game development companies. But if
hmm,
anyone wants to out there, please, I mean, I think it's completely possible.
yeah.
I think
So
it's
again,
completely possible.
panel wants to ask this question like, what lacks game dev career in India?
What lacks the game development career in India? I think that it's, you could say, um,
In
the
current
I
environmental
don't
of
want to
it?
get controversial right now. So okay, so these are just my opinions. Don't at me on this, but I think there lacks a mentality as in India,
Yeah,
as in the
I agree on
simple that people don't agree that game development is getting ahead, and gaming like this, esports
it. Yeah,
especially.
esports. Yeah,
Esports is like insane. It's like big. I mean, it's probably the biggest, next biggest sport. I've I've
that
I heard it like they're going to bring it to Olympics or something. I don't know if it's true or not.
yeah, I have heard it too. Yeah, so they are saying that in case that happens, the gaming industry will get a big, we can say, boom, like, and people will see game dev as a proper career, not as a domestic or a side career. Because I feel that same as you feel like Harsh, that mentality lacks somewhere around that this is not a career. They feel that they might be just not go ahead from it as compared to other fields, but I think it will be just a myth in the upcoming years.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, with especially with mobile games, right?
Yeah,
So the thing with mobile games, ever when mobile games, especially games like PUBG, entered, and everyone started playing. Even like people who didn't play games on PC play games
yeah,
like on mobile. So their interest in games and stuff has increased, and because of that, it kind of, I wouldn't say dominoes effect, but it kind of reflects as, okay, yeah, so gaming is really cool, and maybe I should, try and look into it if there's any scope for me. So let's see. I mean, I I hope that institutes provide like a good opportunity for students or even like professionals to have like a good course, or have like, maybe I think that we need one or two big um, companies in India that are like
they
that
are like
start.
properly on the game development.
There was one company, but I forgot the name. Yeah.
So let's see. I think we don't have any more questions left. So I guess that's it. But wait, we have some announcements as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so beginning with it, the first is that if someone wants to deliver a session on Flutter, uh, we are open to CFPs. So you can reach us via the Twitter handle given here, or just mail us at just yeah, you can see on the screen, that is flutterbootcampvadodara@gmail.com. So yeah, you can just mail us, and we'll look into it. Also, I would like to invite Pranit, who has some few announcements as well. So I hope Pranit is ready. Just a minute. Meanwhile, you can just take. Okay, so I think Pranit is ready. Hi
Hello, am I
Pranit.
audible?
Hi,
Yeah,
Pranit.
you are.
Hey, Harsh and Arpan, how are you?
Hi. Yeah, we are fine.
Yeah,
So we have heard, we know that you have some announcement. So the stage is yours.
yeah, yeah. Thanks, Arpan. So,
Yeah,
hello everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today here on our meetup. Uh, we hope that you liked that today's meetup and session, and it was a great session by Harsh, to be honest.
Thanks. Sorry. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Pranit.
So yeah, so now we have a very cool announcement to make, and we are really happy to share it with you all that us Flutter Vadodara has now collaborated with SillyHacks as a community partner. So like hackathons are fun, but we have slightly forgotten the essence of that. So we came up with the idea of SillyHacks to bring back the fun in the hackathon. So, CELIAX is 48 hours of global online hackathon starting on 18th of September until the 20th of September, where you can build anything and everything. We want you to hack for fun, basically. So, make the funniest, silliest hack that brings a smile to people's faces. CELIAX will also be organizing a series of workshops 1 month prior to the hackathon, that is in the month of August, and we will be having some amazing topics and sessions by some great speakers. Also, registrations for CELIAX are now open, and now you can register to participate in CELIAX. And also, if you are interested in delivering a session at the CELIAX, so you can even submit a CFP for that. Uh, so you can find everything about that on a CELIAX website. So this is the website for CELIAX. So you can register for participation here, and you can even give us a follow on our social media handles, that is Twitter, Instagram, or if you have any query regarding CELIAX, then you can even mail us. And yeah, so that was all from my side. Back to you, Arpan, again.
So I think we have covered all the announcements as well. So if you have any queries or something, reach us to us at our social media handle on Twitter. And this is the website link you can see on like sillyhacks.online. So you can visit there and just check it out.
Yeah,
And
Arpan, I wanted to ask
yeah,
one thing.
yeah,
So in this City Hacks hackathon, we're focusing on creativity and fun, right?
yeah,
We usually um, all the usual impact any hackathon that I've seen or I've been to is all about solving a problem or solving you know some problem statement to get some
initial, yeah,
problem.
yeah,
But nobody I wouldn't say the respects, but um, uh,
yeah.
I could say like nobody um, you know nobody talks of I mean nobody
Just
gives
for fun,
enough recognition to
just for
something that's cool or something that's
yeah.
that the developer.
Especially in its own kind, yeah, we can say that like they are just like some hackathons that focus on the society solving problems or any problem that is being solved. So I think, yeah, you are correct on it. Like, so we bring you this silly hacks, and the main criteria is that you just hack for fun. So build anything you want, and you are free from boundaries, any kind of boundaries. And we appreciate each and every kind of hack that people build.
And mm, as most of you are Flutter developers, I hope that we'll see some cool Flutter projects. And please mention Flutter Vadodara as well.
Yeah,
If you make something or if you have something in mind, please just let us know.
yeah. So I think we have covered all the points. Yes, first. So maybe it's time to say goodbye. So see you guys soon in another live session like this. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Bye.